Well, Ronnie, how you doing today, man?
I'm doing great, man. Hope you are.
Hey, it's the best day ever. That's my adage. I never have bad days, and not that obstacles don't come my way. It's just how I handle the obstacles. After 19 years of being in a home-based business, or going into my 19th year, I love the flexibility and the freedom that I have. I'm more interested in your story today, Ronnie, as you and I met probably 12 years ago, and I hadn't seen you until 2.5 years ago. We touch bases every once in a while, but I want you to come and share your story today for what's happened to you and your wife in the last couple years, and how we met. And I just think people need to hear it, Ronnie.
It's been a good, as they say, a good. But yeah, well, it's been a while. We finally got back together. On a mutual friend was going to talk to you about a project he was working on, and so I said, yeah, I can ask Rusty. He's always can tell you yes or no and be upfront. And that's what he wanted to hear. So we met, and it was kind of funny because we went to a little restaurant. I walked right by you, didn't even recognize you because, like I said, it's been 10 years since I seen you. And when I saw you, uh, man, you was close to 400 on pounds over that. And so I was like, wow. And I remember you was telling me that, I was like, man, what did you do? And you said, I've been drinking coffee. And I'm like, man, that's great. And he said, you ought to try it. I'm like, that's great. Problem is, I don't drink coffee. I said, I don't drink hot drinks. And jokingly, you said, well, you can do it cold. And I'm like, well, I might even handle it if it's cold. And that's as far as it got. And we just talked about the guy that I was introducing you to. We sort of let y'all two talk, and I just sort of sit back and do what I do is connect people and just listen to you. And at the end, you was talking about, you said, so what are you doing? And I'm like, man, I'm doing. And you knew. I mean, let's be honest. I was pushing almost 400 pounds myself. And so I was, it was very noticeable. I've kept my high school figure. So it was seen. And, and you asked me, you said, so now what you want to try some of this coffee? And it's funny because you asked me that, knowing I knew the answer is, yeah, I need to do something. But the first thing that came out of my mouth is, I think what everybody says is, no, I'm okay. And I talked to my wife a week before that. I got to do something with my health. I just turned 50. I got to do something. And yet you just asked me, hey, do you want to do something about your health? And the first thing that came out of my mouth was, no, I'm okay. It just, I think we say that so quick because we really don't know what lies ahead. And since instead of acting not understanding things, we tend to, we don't look stupid or ignorant. So we just say, no, I'm okay, and move on. And that's what I did. And I'll never forget what you said to me. You said, okay, well, when you're ready to become an asset to your family and not a liability, call me. And it hit. I was like, it's a lot of nerve, but then I'm like, but that's true, you know. And so that was it. And so we left. And on the way, the next day, me and my wife has a on a loose tea company, so I'm delivering tea in Wilmington. I'm driving down the road, and coming back home that night. Uh, the radio's on. Listen to some pastor, on the radio and stuff, and he said something that just it hit me like just. I mean, I just stopped. He said, "I never saw a dead man cash a check." And man, it was like, whoa, where did that come from? It got me so touched that I pulled off the side of the road. And first thing I did is call Amy, my wife. I said, man, I've got to do something. I said, I am running around. I'm falling asleep. I mean, my health is not where it needs to be. I'm chasing that dollar, doing 3 or 4 jobs, whatever it takes to try to make a bill here and there. And my health is gone. And I got to do something. And then I remember what you said, and I was like, it's time to me become an asset. So I was like, so I called you up. I'm like, hey, I know it's late, but when can we meet? And you said, hey, tomorrow's fine. So we met the next day, and uh, I just told you, I said, man, I just want to try some of the product. I don't want to do the business or nothing. I said, I just want to, see what I can do. And you said, well, it's fine. That's how we do it anyway. And you was talking about this coffee and how it loses weight and targets your health, gives you energy, targets your belly fat, and all that stuff, and just all that stuff about it. And so I was like, cool, I'm gonna buy some coffee. And so I said, this is great. And you said, well, do you want to? If you want to do the business, there's a business side to it, another stream of income. And I'm like, yeah, but I don't want to be selling things out of my trunk. And you're like, what? He's like, we don't sell out of our trunk, man. And I said, well, no, you got to buy a lot of inventory and all that. And you said, I don't know which business you talking about. He said, the way we've been doing it, and we've been doing it for 19 years, the same way. You buy a product, you use the product, and you just share. And that's your inventory is what you use. And I'm like, well, that's interesting. I can do that. And you said, and there's way of making money by it. And you just have a website, just like Amazon, and people can order from you, and you get also paid as being leaders and helping other people. And when they order from theirs, you get paid compensated for helping them. And that's what we do when we help one another. And I'm like, that's it. You're like, yeah. I'm like, wow, okay. And so I was like, well, then let's do it. So I called my wife. I said, hey, I got some coffee. And she's like, okay. And I said, she said, you don't like coffee? I said, I know, but this coffee gives you energy and helps you targets your belly fat and helps your mind, your thinking, and all this stuff. And she's like, wait, we'll back up. I said, what do you mean? She goes, you said something about it. I said, gives you energy? She said, no, it wasn't that. I said, targets your belly fat? She said, that's it. I said, yeah. She goes, well, I'm doing it first because the last child we had came with luggage and left it. And I said, okay. So when I got home, I actually had 3 bags, and she took those 3 bags and she did like a half of a bag a day so she could stretch out. Well, anyway, within 6 days, she lost 6 pounds, and it was all right in her stomach. She's like, whatever we got, I don't want to run out. I don't care if we do the business or not. I just don't want to run out. And so I was like, wow, then this thing's working. We're going to do it. And so let's speed up a little bit. Within a year's time, well, let me back up. What you didn't realize was prior to that, a couple months, we were like flipped upside down. I think everything we owed was 2, if not 3 months behind on everything. And I was working 2, 3, 4 jobs, driving Uber, driving Lyft, driving Miss Daisy. I was anywhere that I can make $1. We gonna do it. And it got to the point where everybody talking about robbing from Peter to pay Paul, and I was running out of people's names. It was just switching whatever could happen. And I remember making a statement that, man, if I can make a couple $100, just a couple $100 extra a month, man, I'll be happy. And that was one thing you said, that, if we can get you where you're making around $400 or $500 a month, would that help you? And jokingly, I'm like, man, that would save my house. But you didn't realize was a month prior to when we met, I got a foreclosure in the mail that the last part, it was done. We done went 4 months behind on the house, and there was no coming back. Here's where we're at. We're losing the house. And so we went through this counseling, started doing some things, showing what we were working on. And because of it works, and because of the extra stream that was coming in with that, we were able, not only within a year's time, I tell people it's like a country song. I got my house back, I got my car back, I got my life back, got my wife back. I mean, it was like a country song played backwards. You know what I mean? Because you usually lose all that, but yeah, that's exactly what happened. And so not only did I personally lost over 40 pounds in that 1 year time, but we had not only got our house out of foreclosure, but then we started making house payments just with what we did. Now, it's funny because a lot of people's like, man, when you hear their testimony, and man, they're 6 figures and all that. They paid off their house, and man, they're up in the $500,000 club or the $1 million club. We didn't wait till that to happen to change our life. Right off the first 2 or 3 weeks, we were making payments on time. What had turned us around was we started eliminating late fees. And we realized late fees are like a payment. I mean, it got to the point we owed more on late fees than actual payment itself. And just getting those caught up, the money started showing up to pay all the things. And I remember going through a Dave Ramsey class. I'm in several of those. And it's the same thing. You pay it, or you start paying down, a snowball effect starts taking it off. And that was how we was able to start paying off things, was because one bill, just catching up with our late fees, just paying things on time, eliminating extra charges that was crazy extra charges. And then when you got back just paying the bills and then paying one payment off and then sliding into another one. And within a year's time, just that extra $400 or $500 really changed our whole life. And we came up with a saying, we started enjoying life full time. And people's like, man, are y'all debt free? I'm like, no. They're like, but you're happy. I'm like, hey, I don't have to be debt free to be happy. If I'm going forward, I'm happy. I said, because we know there's a way out. I don't have to wait till it happens to experience it. We're experiencing now. And man, it's changed our life tremendously. We was able, before we went to the government said we had to go in for uh, 3 months and not work. Basically, something happened then. The month before, we made two house payments back to back in 1 month. We ain't never did that. And so it's one of those things over these last 2 years, we've been able to get things caught up, get Amy a house or get Amy a car because prior to the foreclosure on the house, Amy got a car repossessed. So we've got all these things that's happened to us. It's all changed us around. To say it works, the money that we got exactly from it works, did that pay off? It? No. But here's what happened. It gave us the hope and it gave us the vision of going forward. And that was able to help add with what we was working, add with her income, other income. It just gave us that little over the hump to make us go, wow, we can do this. And now, oh man, it is wide open. And I thank God because when the government sent us home, I went to bed with 4 streams of income. I woke up with 1 stream of income because the only business I was able to do at home was at work business, online, doing what I'm doing. And it became my full time for the last 3 months because the companies that I was selling and representing them were hospitality industry. And they were the first ones that got shut down. And they're the last ones that's going to get opened up. So this is like opened our eyes that, man, we are so happy that we're there with where we're at now. And our testimony is basically it's growing. It's just growing and growing. We're showing people how to get out of debt, how to grow toward getting out of debt and shoot it. And we got a vehicle now that can help us pay everything off. And every time I make a house payment, the little girl I talk to, I'm like, hey, I'm making a house payment. I'm making sure that's in there. And she goes, I always ask her one question. So what's my total to pay it off? She's like, Mr. Evans, why are you asking how much to pay it off when you just getting out of foreclosure? I'm like, well, because the company I'm working with has given me a chance to dream and to set goals. And if I don't have a goal to pay this off, it's never going to happen. So I want a goal and I want to put a number down because that's what we're reaching for. And I said, well, our goal is by the end of this year, we're going to pay it off. And now when I pay a house payment, she'll say, Mr. Evans, here's your house payment. Thank you for your house payment. And by the way, here's your payoff. And now she's doing it herself on her house. She's writing down the same thing. And I'm like, that's what it's all about. Is just having a chance to be able to say, man, I can get to that next level. And I got a vehicle that can get me there. And that's what we're doing. So we tell people, we got a little saying, we tell people, me and my wife, we love traveling. We never traveled. But ever since this group, we've been married 30 years. And we've traveled since we've been with It Works more than we've ever traveled. And just weekend, we call it road trips. And so we tell people, they're like, you're always on the road. You're always doing things. And we finally just tell them, don't judge us. Just join us. It's like, we're going to have fun. And we got a vehicle that can get us from point A to point B. And man, we're just loving it.
Yeah, Ronnie, just the extra $200 or $300 a month, that's really impacted you. But there's work involved. This is not get rich quick. I've been doing this going on 19 years. We work very hard, and we have an income disclosure that lets you know exactly where it's at, what it's going to take to get there. This is something you have to go work in order. But that $200 or $300 extra dollars, some months $400, not counting any little fast start bonuses. That's the part that puts you over the top. Is that what I understand?
That's exactly it. And see, it's funny because I'm going to work hard anyway, but I never get paid for my work and all these other jobs. I'm working a lot harder than they're paying me for when you're at the end of the day. With this, you work hard, you get paid. You want a raise, you just go out and work a little harder. I go extra 3 hours into work or stay extra over. They don't pay any extra for that. They just say thank you. Might get a Christmas card, but to a point, I'll just buy my own Christmas card instead of working extra 3 hours.
Yeah, well, there is no get rich easy. You've had some great health, some weight loss. I've had some great weight loss. There's nothing that's gonna there's more to it than taking a good product line. You started driving all the way to where I live to work out with us. Now I'm a component and a proponent of working out every day. I don't want to be sick anymore, so I really take that serious because I want to be an asset to my family, not a liability. And I've had some great health changes, but I've worked my butt off to get there. But it creates a balance of eating correctly, the correct exercise, and then I supplement and I do things that it put in my body that gives me the fuel, that gives me the ability to go work hard. And you started working out with us, and we've seen a drastic change in you in the last couple years. And I think you and Amy together, I don't know what your total is, but it's through the hard work by doing the right things to create that balance in your life that you've had this type of success. So how much weight have you guys lost together?
Together, we're almost at 80 pounds. I've lost about 50, almost 55 myself. And the crazy thing about it is, and I tell people straight up, it's like anything else. The secret of my success of losing weight is the products. They got me energy. Now, I know they were curbing my appetite. You curb your appetite, you don't eat as much. That's a no-brainer. Of course you're going to lose weight. But the stuff give you energy. You get energy is what you do with it. Now, I could have had energy and went and took a long nap and everything. But since I had the energy, it's like, well, let's go walking. Well, let's go work out. Let's go do that. And that is why I tell people these supplements my schedule is on the go, wide open. I mean, I tell people I am up 27 hours a day. I mean, it's like, let's go do it, whatever stuff. And my whole thing was when I die, I get to heaven, all I ask is a glass of sweet tea and a nap. That's all I want. You know what I mean? So until we get there, let's do it. I'm wide open. But the problem is your body starts shutting down. And there was time in my life, I mean, there was times I drove home because I travel a lot. I'll drive home, don't even know how I got home. I'll wake up in the driveway and sleep in the car. Just my body, it will shut down. And because of my lifestyle, it was nobody, Ronnie, you need to start eating right. You need to start cooking right. That just wasn't going to happen. I mean, there's a reason why 50 years old, I'm over almost 400 pounds the way it is because of the lifestyle that I'm living. It's hard. With a lot of these products, they just helped me. They met me where I was at and said, okay, we're going to work with you on energy. Now that you got energy, take that and let's go to the next level. And then it got to the point after about 4 months into doing this, I'm like, man, I started walking. I even went out for the gladiators, the Camp Gladiators.
Awesome.
Woo! And I'm going to tell you, I wasn't embarrassed that a pregnant woman outran me. I'm gonna I honestly thought she was big, but then afterwards they said, no, she's pregnant. So I really But anyway, we can edit that, right? Okay. But it was one of those where I had to start where I started. And one thing this guy told me, I loved to death because he said, look, you just come where you're at. Don't try to overdo it. And if you can't, jog in place, then just, step in place. It's where you can gradually get to where you were. It's the same way these products was. They got you going to where you're at to get to the next level. Then they get to but the energy started coming. And then next thing you know, I went and I did that for about 2 months. And then when you offered about coming up to work out with you, I'm like, yeah, man, I used to work out when I was, in high school. And we came out there and when you said y'all work out, I didn't realize y'all work out. Y'all are totally different weight. I don't mind saying it. I was several hundred pounds below where y'all were lifting and where I was lifting. But it was crazy because after starting it and doing it, when I started exercising and working out and still taking the products that we're doing, I started getting stronger. I still was losing weight, but then I started gaining weight, which was muscles, and my body started going crazy in different ways. But the energy just exploded, and it got to the point. It wasn't even 3 months after working out with y'all, I started lifting the same things I was lifting in high school. Now, I know some people are going to say you probably didn't live much in high school. No, I did live much in high school. But the point is this product got you where you needed to be, but it also took me working out and going to that next level. Same way with the business. This business gave me an opportunity to say, if you want to go make this money and pay off this bill, you got to do this. But guess what? You could do this as often as you want, and we're still going to pay you for it. So it's all about you. And that's one reason why I feel like a lot of people are not successful in things like this, is because it's all about us. And let's face it, we have grown up being lazy. Everybody, and I was the same way. I mean, I'll admit it, because that's exactly, 50 years old now. I'm 52, and I'm having more fun. And it's like, man, I feel like I've wasted years. And so now going forward, I can't help to tell people, hey, take this time now and just enjoy life full time. Let's do it. So,
Yeah. If you're willing to work hard at get your health in line, you're willing to work really hard to making a few hundred extra dollars, and it could turn into whatever you want. But if you're willing to work hard and help other people create solutions for problems, that's how I've been doing what I've been doing, sitting here at my kitchen table for going on 19 years. But now, has it been easy? No, no. But has it been worth it? Yes. I work very hard, but the biggest thing I contribute, I try to put the right things in to get the right input, right output. I work out hard every day. I try to eat as best I can to take care of it. I've just chosen something that I know that it has worked for me, and I just got excited about it. And all I want to do is share. And if you're willing to work, and you want to be very frugal with your time and be very frugal with your resources, you can live any life that you want to. And when you make up your mind that you're willing to just work your butt off for it, I've never seen anybody successful in business, successful in a relationship, successful in getting your physically fit, that just didn't work their butts off. It's just, you have to have the right tools and have to have the ability to apply those tools and apply them every single day in your life. And Ronnie, I'm so proud of you and Amy for what you've done. You've got up every day. You believed in the process. You saw the people that you've put together in your workout team and in your business team. They just see you show up every single day, and now you've got this one source. You got a plan A. When you get a strong plan A, you don't need plan B or C or D. Plan A, when you get totally committed to your plan A, like you and Amy have, what begins to happen at that point? When you take the blinders off and go focus on plan A, you become a professional, not a jack of all trades. And Ronnie, I'm beyond proud of you guys for going into over 2 years now. You're working hard. You still make these gains every single day. And how do you make gains every single day? Well, you show up every day. That's how you consistently gain an inch at a time. And sometimes you might go back a couple inches, but you get up tomorrow, try to gain that next inch. And next thing you know, it's a foot and it's a yard. And then you start to score. And what I appreciate about you, you stopped being a spectator and you got in the game of getting Ronnie to become an asset, not a liability. Would you agree with that?
oh yeah, and I tell people, I mean, they're like, you set a goal and you reach it. And it was funny because you told me, you said, we was talking about dreams and stuff, and you just challenged us one day. You're like, well, the problem is your dreams ain't that big. And listening to just the way this business is set up, even with Mark, Pentecost talked about dreaming bigger, bigger. And the only bad negative thing I got out of this that's happened in me and Amy's life is my wife has saw dream big, and we're not dreaming big enough. And so when you told us to go down and make a wall, make a board, a dream board, and we're like, okay, we're gonna do a dream board, and Amy caught that. And she's like, we're going to do a dream board. And you said, if that's not big, you need a bigger dream board. Well, she misinterpreted because then she looked at me and she goes, this dream board ain't big enough. And I'm like, it ain't. I mean, I done put two 24-inch together. That's 48 piece of wood together. So well, you know what a dream board? This is a dream board. And she goes, no, I think Rusty's right. We're not dreaming big enough. We need a dream wall. I'm like, you never said anything about a wall, So next thing I know, the next Saturday, we're in the biggest room. We got living room, and we're like moving stuff away going, we got to paint this wall. This is going to be our dream wall, and this is what's going to get us paying the house off, traveling, doing whatever. And so now we actually got a dream wall. Well, I should say I painted to the wall, And you know how the wall goes together like this? Well, she said, that's not a period, it's a comma. So I had to keep going around. So now I done painted the whole room. So now we went from a board to a wall to a room. So I said, well, let's start with this wall. But the point is, that's how this business has allowed us is to dream big and to have fun, but it's together. We're together doing this thing. We're putting it in there, hold each other accountable. And that's exactly what the team's about. We're holding each other accountable. You know, start out with you. It's like, you know, being an asset. It's like, wow, when you start thinking that way and that responsibility, then it's like, I'm going, this is what I'm doing it for. And you told me about my first goal. You said, you know, what do you want to do? And I said, I just want to be able to go to the beach and lay out on the beach and not have kids roll me back into the water, you know. And believe it or not, when we went to that island that first year with y'all, and we was able to go to that island with you, it felt good to lay out on the beach and exactly enjoy it. And I'm laughing, going, "This is so cool." But yeah, it just I can't say more because this company and these products has set you up to go to the next level based on you. And that's really what it's about. And that's why I tell people it's up to you. If you say, hey, I'm going to be here tomorrow, we're going to already be there with the door open to help you. If you don't show up, we're going to be here with the door ready to help you. But we're going to do what we need to do. And you talk about working out, you know, yeah, I drive an hour there and an hour back. People like, you know how many gyms you could be going to that's closer? Yeah, but if I'm seeing results there, that's where I'm going. If I see results when it works, why go somewhere else? And that's why I love what we're doing because the results are there. They give us a platform and said, hey, you got the platform, you got the support. All we're waiting on is you. And if you can do it, you can reach anything. And we talk about a couple $100. There's a lot more to be made. But I'm just being realistic. If you're just a couple $100, believe you me, with the knowledge of the company and how they structure you and how they teach you and educate you on things, a couple $100 could keep somebody from going into debt and bankruptcy and losing the house. We're proving that. And that's why I tell people, don't look at the 10,000, 15,000. Let's just start with this. And I guarantee we can put a program together where if you just get caught up on your late fees, you'll start seeing bills get caught up. So,
Yeah, you know, we've created a culture of people through the years of hard work and being totally committed and not letting things waver us away from plan A. It's created a culture of people that we wake up on purpose, wake up with a purpose. We're not waking up just like an accident waiting to happen. No, I've got some structure and I know where I'm going to go. And then the things that are important to us in life, like I've been with my wife 41 years. I've got two little girls. That was what was most important to me. And all I needed was just a little bit of money to get started to push me over the edge to become a full-time family. Now, has it been a lot of hard work? Yeah, yeah. Hell, I ain't never seen people that do very well that don't work hard, but it was worth it because therefore we've created a culture of waking up with a purpose. Ronnie, I appreciate this thing today. I appreciate the effort that you put in for the last 2.5 years, the hard work that you and Amy put in, the hard work you put in on your business, the hard work you put in on getting your health in line, and the hard work you put into becoming an asset instead of a liability. Ronnie, I appreciate it. I hope you have the best day you've ever had the rest of your day, and I'll see you soon.
I appreciate it. Hey, Rusty.
Yes, sir.
Remember one thing. You love me.
Yes, I do.
See you later, bro.
Hey, buddy.